Hello students, welcome to my YouTube channel SG Education. Today we will see class 9 subject science chapter 7 energy flow in an ecosystem exercise solutions. Exercise question 1, complete the following table carefully, study the carbon, oxygen and nitrogen cycles. So biogeochemical cycles are given. We have to write the biotic processes and abiotic processes. So first carbon cycle. Biotic processes, photosynthesis and respiration, decomposition by decomposers. Abiotic processes, combustion, absorption by water. Second, oxygen cycle. Biotic processes, photosynthesis and respiration, decomposition by decomposers. Abiotic processes, combustion, production of ozone and oxides. Third, nitrogen cycle. Biotic processes, decomposition by decomposers, biological fixation, ammonification. Abiotic processes, industrial fixation, physical fixation, nitrification, denitrification. Question number 2. Correct and rewrite the following statements and justify your corrections. A. Carnivores occupy the second trophic level in the food chain. Correction. Carnivores occupy the third trophic level. Autotrophic producers constitute the first trophic level. Herbivorous animals obtain their nutrients from them. They occupy second trophic level. Carnivorous animals feed upon these herbivorous animals. Therefore, they occupy the third trophic level in the food chain. B. The flow of nutrients in an ecosystem is considered to be a one-way transport. Correction. The flow of nutrients in an ecosystem is considered to be cyclic. The green plants are producers. By photosynthesis, they convert minerals and inorganic compounds into glucose. This food is transferred along with food chain from producers to primary consumers to secondary consumers. The decomposers of the ecosystem decompose all the dead and decaying organisms and return these nutrients back to the ecosystem. Thus, the flow of nutrients is cyclic and not one way transport. C. Plants in an ecosystem are called primary consumers. Correction. Plants in an ecosystem are producers. Green plants are called producers as they carry out photosynthesis with the help of solar energy. The food which they produce is utilized by the herbivores. Therefore, they are called producers and herbivores are primary consumers. Question 3. Give reasons. A. Energy flow through an ecosystem is one way. Answer. The sun is the most important source of energy in any ecosystem. Green plants of the ecosystem store some amount of solar energy in the form of food. Before reaching the decomposers, this energy is passed on from one trophic level to the next. Decomposers dissipate some amount of energy in the form of heat. However, no part of the energy ever returns to the sun, hence, energy flow through an ecosystem is one way. Next, B. Equilibrium is necessary in the various biogeochemical cycles. Answer. The cyclic flow of nutrients within an ecosystem is called biogeochemical cycles. Nutrients necessary for the growth of organisms are continuously transferred from abiotic to biotic factors, biotic to abiotic factors within an ecosystem. Any imbalance in the cycles will break the link between the biotic and abiotic factors. Therefore, equilibrium is necessary between biogeochemical cycles. Next question C. Flow of nutrients through an ecosystem is cyclic. Answer. All organisms need nutrients for their growth. The nutrients carbon, oxygen, nitrogen, iron, calcium, etc. are circulated and recycled from the biosphere to living organisms and after their death back to the biosphere. Nutrients are taken up by plants and then passed on to the consumers. Eventually, after their death, all types of consumers are decomposed by decomposers like bacteria and fungi, and the nutrients are again released into the biosphere and are used again by living organisms. Therefore, the flow of nutrients through an ecosystem is cyclic. Next, question 4. Explain the following cycles in your own words with suitable diagrams. A. Carbon cycle. Answer. The circulation and recycling of carbon from the atmosphere to living organisms and after their death back to the atmosphere is called the carbon cycle. Abiotic carbon atoms are circulated and recycled into biotic from form mainly through photosynthesis and respiration. Hence, the carbon cycle is one of the important biogeochemical cycles. Plants convert carbon dioxide into carbohydrates by the process of photosynthesis. Similarly, they produce carbon compounds like proteins and fats too. Carnivores feed upon herbivores. In this way, biotic carbon is transported from plants to herbivores, from herbivores to carnivores, and from carnivores to apex consumers. Main processes in the carbon cycle. 6CO2 plus 12H2O gives C6H12O6 plus 6H2O plus 6O2. 6 C6H12O6 plus 6O2 gives 6CO2 plus 6H2O plus energy. Eventually, after that, all types of consumers are decomposed by decomposers like bacteria and fungi, and carbon dioxide is released again into the atmosphere and is used again by living organisms. In this way, carbon is continuously passed on from one living organisms to another. After the death of living organisms, carbon goes to the atmosphere and is again taken up by living organisms. Next, B. Nitrogen cycle. Nitrogen cycle is shown here. The nitrogen forms 78%, that is the maximum portion of atmosphere. It is necessary for the maintenance of cycle of nature. The circulation and recycling of nitrogen gas into the form of different compounds through various biotic and abiotic processes in nature is called nitrogen cycle. All organisms participate in the nitrogen cycle. It is an important component of proteins and nucleic acids. As compared to other elements, it is inactive and does not easily combine with other elements. Most organisms cannot use the free form of nitrogen. Important process of nitrogen cycle. Nitrogen fixation, conversion of nitrogen into nitrates and nitrites through atmospheric, industrial and biological processes. Next, ammonification, release of ammonia through the decomposition of dead bodies and excretory waste of organisms. Nitrification, conversion of ammonia into a nitrate and then nitrate. Denitrification, conversion of nitrogen compounds into gaseous nitrogen. Next question, C. Oxygen cycle. Oxygen cycle is shown here. Oxygen forms 21% of the atmosphere. It is also present in the hydrosphere and lithosphere. The circulation and recycling of oxygen within the biosphere is called the oxygen cycle. This cycle includes both the biotic and abiotic components. Oxygen is continuously produced as well as passed up in the atmosphere. Oxygen is highly reactive and it readily reacts with other elements and compounds. As oxygen is found in various forms like molecular oxygen, water, carbon dioxide, inorganic compounds, the oxygen cycle of biosphere is extremely complex. Oxygen is released in the process of photosynthesis, whereas it is used up in processes like respiration, combustion, decomposition, corrosion, and rusting, etc. Question 5. What would you do to help maintain the equilibrium in the various biogeochemical cycles? Explain in brief. Answer. Biogeochemical cycles always involve the achievement of equilibrium, that is, a balance in the cycling of the nutrients between the spheres. Human activities that are known to be environmentally unfriendly can disrupt this balance. We should avoid deforestation as trees play an important role in maintaining the balance. We should avoid overuse of fertilizers. The fertilizers get washed away in the nearby water bodies, disrupting the balance. Avoid burning of fossil fuels as these fuels release a large amount of carbon in the form of carbon dioxide, thus disrupting the balance. Vehicular emissions is another contributor to the disruption in balance of various cycles. These emissions release oxides of nitrogen and carbon and other hazardous air pollutants. So, we must use better quality fuel like CNG or ethanol to reduce vehicular emissions. Next, question 6. Explain in detail the interrelationship between the food chain and food web. Answer. Interaction go on continuously between producers, consumers, and decomposers. There is a definite sequence in these interactions which is called the food chain. Each chain consists of 4, 5, or more links. An ecosystem consists of many food chains that are interconnected at various levels. Thus, a food web is formed. In an organism may be the prey for many other organisms. For example, an insect feeds upon leaves of various plants, but the same insect is the prey for different animals like frog, wall lizard, birds, etc. Thus, many food chains interconnected together form an intricate web called as food web. Question 7. State the different types of biogeochemical cycles and explain the importance of those cycles. Answer. The different types of biogeochemical cycles are nitrogen, oxygen, carbon, water vapor, iron, calcium, and phosphorus, etc. Nutrients necessary for the growth of organisms are continuously transferred from abiotic to biotic factors and biotic to abiotic factors within an ecosystem. These cycles operate continuously through the medium of biosphere formed by the lithosphere, atmosphere, and hydrosphere. The recycling of biological, geological, and chemical sources of nutrients takes place through these cycles. Nutrients from the biosphere enter the bodies of plants and animals. Eventually, after death, all types of consumers are decomposed by decomposers like bacteria and fungi, and they are again released into the biosphere and are used again by living organisms. Therefore, these cycles help in maintaining the flow of nutrients and energy through ecosystem and maintaining the equilibrium in the ecosystem. Next, question 8. Explain the following with suitable examples. A. What type of changes occur in the amount of energy during its transfer from plants to apex consumers? Answer. Plants of ecosystems store some of the solar energy in the form of food. Before reaching the decomposers, this energy is passed on from one trophic level to the next. At energy trophic level, some amount of energy is used by the organism for its own life processes and some amount of energy is lost to the surroundings. Decomposers dissipate some amount of energy in the form of heat. However, no part of energy ever returns to the sun, hence, such passage of energy is referred to as one way transport. Therefore, energy is maximum at the base of the pyramid and is least at the apex. Example: phytoplanktons, which form the base of the pyramid, have 10,000 kilocalorie of energy, while humans at the apex have 10 kilocalorie of energy. B. What are the differences between flow of matter and of energy in an ecosystem? Why? The differences between flow of matter and flow of energy is given below. First, it involves the circulation and recycling of nutrients in a cyclic manner within the biosphere. It involves the flow of energy from one trophic level to another in a unidirectional or non-cyclic manner. Second, there is no dissipation of matter at any level. There is dissipation of energy at every level. Third, biosphere is the source of nutrients. The sun is the most important source of energy. Our chapter number 7, Energy Flow in an Ecosystem exercise solutions are completed. If you want to see the similar videos, then please like, share and subscribe to my YouTube channel SG Education. Thank you.